nice day today. We were under tornado watch all weekend. It was to the point that I was like, no, I'm not going to have my truck destroyed by freaking hail again and have to go through insurance. So there's a public parking like 10 minutes away in the downtown area, and it's a multi-layered garage. So I just stuck it in there the whole day. We got a bunch of wind, a little bit of rain, and then it was gone. But then they got tornadoes up in Moore, Oklahoma, and it's such a pretty area, and they've gotten destroyed like 4 different times. It's kind of sad, actually. That's one of those parts of the countries you really need a storm shelter or some kind of bunker or whatever. But hey, good morning, folks. How you doing? Hey, Nunya. Hey, Watchman. Good morning. Man, I'm seeing a lot of... Where are you going backwards, dude? That's not... You're going... He's going backwards on the highway, on the road. That's how you get in an accident. Like, I don't understand the logic of some people. Hey, Shorty, what's going on? I'm seeing a lot of videos about, the apocalypse is coming. I don't think it is. I think it's going to be interesting because this is going to get really political very quickly the next 4 days. Hey, Camo Carl. And I'll have a video later about my opinions on what's going on with all the stupid. But what I have seen a lot of, and I don't know why, is a lot of reports on random attacks on females. And it's more so than usual, and not all of them are illegals, although a large number have been. Some of them are just crackheads, like they're our own homegrown idiots. Hey, what's going on? Hey, Camo. Hey, KP, what's going on? Hey, Nunya. Hoping my suppressor's coming first. So get this. Your point about suppressors, I have an AR pistol, and I hate that gun thing. And I'm like, no, I'm going to SBR this one. And I talked to the gun shop that has the machine where they do the fingerprints and the whole shit. And they're like, it's $200 for the stamp. And then they throw a little surcharge on there for their time and whatnot, which is fine. They're a business. They got to make some money. And I'm like, okay, I'll come back next week. I come back next week. The machine's broken because someone backed into, if you didn't see my video last week, they backed into their store with the stolen dually and broke through the wall. Like they did, the window had like a metal gate, if you will, that came down over it. So they backed in till they broke the whole wall. And then they, get this, they stole 3 Glocks and an AR. There was a wall full of level 3 shit. I'm talking suppressed, fully auto. You need a license, and it will still cost you $4,000 for this machine pistol. And they stole the Glocks and 1 AR. And the young guy at the counter, when I went back, the machine, they had to get replaced. And he's like, why the hell they steal the Glocks? They left all this high dollar shit. And I said, because they were dumbasses. I said they wanted to get a Glock so they could put a switch in it and have a Glock switch with a switch. And he's like, who the fuck wants that? I'd rather have like the MP5 that's on the wall with a suppressor. I'm like, priorities, man. You should be happy that they were too stupid to realize what you had on the wall, and they instead went and stole the Glocks. And they stole 4 of them and left a whole row of HKs and a whole row of Canics. But they stole 4 Glocks. Hey, Winning Streak, what's going on? And it's like the criminals are stupid. Some of these guys, they're just violent is what the problem is. But I've seen a string of gun thefts. Gun stores, Lubbock, gun stores in Midland, gun stores in Odessa and San Angelo and San Antonio. I mean, all across Texas. I mean, everywhere. And a lot of random attacks against women. I guess the stuff you used to see in like San Francisco, LA, is now just open my eyes. I know where I am. Off to a good start. That is a good start. Because there have been days where I woke up and went, what the hell happened last night? Why am I here? And where's my left shoe? And apparently that particular morning I threw a shoe at one of my buddies because I thought that would be fun. And it was in the pool, which was embarrassing because it stayed there all night. So that, I kind of squished home. But yeah, I don't know what the deal is. It's now all over the place. The comments I'm getting from the folks on TikTok and Instagram are really interesting, because I made that post about the two ladies locally here in Texas who had been assaulted, and but women across the country were telling me, well, that what was in my head. Well, I had the shoe or beer. I'm not going to throw the alcohol, so I threw the shoe. Forming alliance against us. Yeah, no, Watchmen, I would agree with that. We are not in the best interests of other entities in the world. Hey, Teresa. Hey, Loretta. Not in the best interests of other entities that we are the way we are. It's going to be an interesting week. I'm going to try and pay attention to everything. I'm not going to have a heart attack. My wife actually has to travel this week to meet my daughter for a business event. My daughter needs help, and she's like, I only trust certain people, and mom is one of them. As much as those two girls fight with each other, they're like this, it's just fun, typical oldest daughter and mom, right? They're always, but yeah, mom's going down, and mom's already pulled out her 365 SIG. She's pulled out the extra mags. She got her pepper spray. Rage, I wonder about that sometimes. Although that part of the country is notorious for tornadoes, the continuous weirdness is really weird. Yeah. But hey, Gerald, what's going on? I honestly am curious how this is going to play out. So the Supreme Court had just ruled. So Virginia wanted to remove ballots from voters who self-identified or were known to not be citizens. A local judge said, no, you can't do that. It went to the Supreme Court, or the Fifth Circuit. The Fifth Circuit said they can get a provisional ballot and prove their citizenship, which is the way it's supposed to work, right? If you are a new immigrant and you just became a citizen, you may not be on the system yet. So what they might wind up doing is saying, well, since you're not in the system, you can make a vote. It's a provisional ballot. We're going to set it aside, and then we're going to run the background after Election Day and validate you. That's the way it's supposed to work. So was it California or Nevada, somewhere out west, the governor was Republican. He wanted to remove something like 6,000 self-identified non-citizens. They were like voting for because they can vote for like their school board is pretty much it, because they live there, they pay taxes, but that's all they can vote for. And they were fighting in court. The judge said you can't, they have to be counted. The Supreme Court overturned that one and said, no, they get provisional ballots as well. They can vote, and they have 2 weeks to validate, or 10 days. I don't remember what they have a certain period of time to validate, but those have to be set aside. They cannot be counted in the initial count. And they have to be validated by the governor and the Secretary of State and some other shit. So, which is not a bad thing. Hey, good morning, Sister Maurice. So the fighting in the courts started a while ago, and it's just continuing. As we get closer, you're going to see it intensify a little bit. Destroying rage, there's all sorts of stuff. I was waiting for the October surprise to be somebody pops a nuke somewhere. I know that sounds terrible. God forbid that happens anywhere. But hey, little alone, it's concerning when you think about it. It's like, what are we doing? Hey, Cobra. I don't know. I've never thought I'd get to a point in time where there was even a debate. Hey, Alan, there was even a debate, hey, Joy, of people who are not legal residents and not citizens voting for anything. No, Neil's actually, that was my message from the beginning, Neil, was I'm going to go about. I have shit to do. I'm going to pay a little more attention. I'm going to be, I just realized my truck bag's actually in the garage right now. Sassy's packed up her all her Etsy stuff for this season, and it's all gone to storage, and now the garage is clear again, so I can actually see what the hell's going on in there. And I got to repack my bag, and part of that is for winter, right? It's going to get colder, and I have summer stuff. I have to pull the MREs because I think they got baked. Although, hey, to be fair, there were MREs in Iraq sitting in bunkers and shit, and they were fine. So, there's that. But I got to repack my bag. Probably check the truck, make sure I have the right things for the winter. I might change some things with possibly roads being obstructed, protests, something like that. I'm keeping in mind that people may become disruptive, but that could happen in general. I mean, because the whole, when Israel went and stomped the living crap out of Gaza, there was no election at that time, but people went to the streets, right? So you just got to kind of read the room. I don't know if that makes sense. You got to read your local town, and that's why I keep saying over and over, get to know your local area. Drive around. You get a Saturday, get the dog or get a coffee and just drive around town and just see, what's going on? Is there construction? Is there a new store? Is there a new restaurant, but also gives you a feel for where your routes are, right? Can I get from A to B, right? There's the main drag, but can I get from A to B through a side road? Is there an alleyway I can use? Is there other things, other directions I can go to get from A to B, right? And the best time to do that is on a weekend where people aren't running to work, kids aren't going to school. But the Watchmen, it's descended into something, Shabulba or some shit. But I'm not gonna do anything different. I gotta freaking go to work. I have shit to do. Also, I'm in an area where that kind of disruption is not likely. There's out in West Texas and the energy, because we got the solar, we got the wind farms, we got the oil and gas. There's a lot of technology out here in the desert, ironically. There's a large number of technical people, a lot of outdoorsy people. The majority are. A lot of veterans. There's a lot of military guys out here and girls who are now working in industry. Because it's a good fit. Think about it. You in the military, and now you have a job where you drive around and you're outside all day, but they pay you, nobody shoots at you. It's a good fit. RFB has been a jerk lately to other YouTube channels. Who's RFB? RFB, I just blanked out. I don't remember who the hell RFB is. Anyway, you can put it in the chat. But I'm not going to do anything different. I may change, hey JFlow, I may change some of what's in my bag. I might change the routes I take if I have to go, because I have to go to a couple of bigger cities in the next couple of weeks. So I need to understand, I don't even know who that channel is. Is he being a jerk to people? I don't know the guy. So, but I'm going to look for alternative routes. I know I have to fly into a couple of cities this coming month. So before Thanksgiving, so I'm planning to, I already rented cars and I'm arriving the night before. Now there's, these are company trips, right? My boss says sometimes, well, why don't you come in that morning and leave that night? And I'm like, because if something happens, just think about it for a second. One, I don't want to show up to a 6 a.m. meeting. I just flew in and I'm tired and I look like crap, right? And my brain's not working. But two, aside from getting a full night's rest, I get to go into a hotel. I kind of get to watch the local news when I arrive, and I rented a car. If something completely goes sideways, I'm like, you know what, Avis Rent-A-Car? I'll turn my car back in the airport in my town. I'm taking this damn thing across Texas. I will get in that SUV or whatever the hell they give me, and I will drive home, right? Screw the airport if the airports are grounded. You know what I mean? And so I think like that. And even if it's an overnight trip, I'll still bring a good duffel bag with some of the amenities I need. Yeah, sorry, Avis. Oh, they'll get the car back. It's just be in another part of the state. Right, little lone, and you have to know the background. So if you guys are traveling for Thanksgiving and there's disruption, plan for options, right? Plan for some contingencies. Well, I'm going to my uncle's house, my cousin, my sister, whoever, and I have to pass, I don't know, you pass Oklahoma City, you pass whatever, Denver, Houston, and I got to go through a city. Well, what's my alternate route? If the city gets disruptive, I don't want to get caught on a highway with, an elevated highway and there's rioters or a protest. Now I'm just stuck there, even if they're not breaking anything. You want another option. You want another, well, yeah, plan for not having a vehicle if you're traveling. One of the running things I do, like when my son visits, right, he brings his car, but we have two cars between my wife and I, so we've joked, if the kids need the pickup truck to get back home, we'll swap vehicles. I'll take my son's SUV, he takes my pickup, right? We kind of, the family's now thinking like that when we visit each other, because my family's spread out. So we have to think like that. My brother's a prepper in Louisiana, and we already have that contingency. Hey, if the hurricane hits you and it's ugly, you come this way. I don't know, the chupacabras attack me here. I go your way. We meet in Dallas, or we meet in Bossier City. We meet in Shreveport. We already have these things kind of laid out. Mentally, we've already got a plan. But yeah, if you're traveling, have some routes. If you're going to stay in a hotel, drive around the area. What I would recommend, if you've never been to that hotel before, go on Google Maps and do a search of the area around the hotel. It tells you a lot about what you're going to deal with, right? Because if you're by a subdivision, it'll probably be a relatively quiet hotel. You're by a Walmart, you're going to have that 24-hour group of people going through, and you never know what you're going to get at a Walmart, right? So that's a very different experience. Absolutely, Joy. Know your land, know the area, know your community, right? Out here, we have such a diverse group, believe it or not, in West Texas. But I kind of know the accents, even in Spanish. So I hear Tex-Mex accent, Mexican accents, Argentinian folks. There are a lot of them with the energy companies up here. And I'll pick up, so if we get like a Venezuelan, they stand out. I immediately can pick up that accent. Understanding, even if you don't speak Spanish or speak other languages, understanding what it sounds like. I can hear Vietnamese and Korean, and I know they're speaking Korean. I don't know what they're saying, but it sounds different. So I know we have a lot of Vietnamese folks out here. If I suddenly hear a different accent, hey, oops, I'm like, oh, you're new to the community. What's your story? Immediately, not that it's ugly, I'm just thinking, you're new. What are you? What is your variable? Are you a good variable, bad variable? Get to know your area, get to know your routes. And again, when I travel, I try to get there the night before, unless I absolutely have no choice, and I always try to rent a car. So when I show up, I have a vehicle waiting for me. If something pops off, I'm going to drive the damn thing home. I will call Avis or Enterprise or whoever and be like, guess what? I'm not turning this in. I'm driving home. You guys will collect it there, and you guys can bill me later. I'll deal with it that way. Good morning, Moldy. Good morning, Oops and Lady Smith, and a few of you who snuck in here on me. So, folks, don't panic. Don't freak out. Be mindful of what's going on. Pay attention. You may want to double check your vehicle bags. One more feast before turkey. Hey, you know what? One year, true story, one year, we got tired of turkey. And I was like, I don't want to make another turkey. This is a pain in the ass. And so I told my wife, we should do like Thanksgiving ham and brisket. I don't know, or fajitas. I don't remember. It was something oddball. We wound up doing fajitas that Thanksgiving, like a big pile. The kids came over and we just fed everyone. We're like, we're thankful for fajitas. You know, why not, right? Hey, Vision. To me, I'm thankful that my kids are not crackheads, right? I got 3 relatively good kids, although I'm dealing with one being a dumbass, but I've already told him that, so he's not talking to me at the moment. But I got relatively good kids. I got a home, and I have dogs, which I never had as a kid. When you don't grow up with much of anything, and you're blessed to have a home and a truck that actually works, you kind of count your blessings. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys. So that's how I look at the world. You know, shit happened to me when I was a kid on the streets. I shouldn't even be here. So to me, if the Lord calls me home tomorrow, I did okay for the kid who didn't have anything, you know? And I try to count that as my blessing. But plan, don't freak out, but have those options in the back of your mind. Do I have access to a rental car? If I visit my relative, do they have a spare car in the back? Where can I stay if something happens, whether it's a riot or a tornado or just a flood between A and B? Do I know where to stop? Where can I get fuel? Where can I get a shot of whiskey, because I might need that too? You know, keep the options in mind, and don't freak out, don't panic. You know, we're smart, we know what we're doing. A lot of you may not travel, you'll be at home. Hey, even better. Oh yeah, chicken. Hell, I'll eat chicken and dumplings with some bread and a glass of wine. I'll be happy with that. Thanksgiving done. You know, I don't need a damn turkey. I mean, I like turkey, don't get me wrong, but yeah, folks, be smart. Stay safe, plan your routes, plan your travel, and you know, watch some videos. Don't watch the panic videos, right? Like the guy, what's his name? This is a white guy with no hair, and he always has these bugged out eyes on his thumbnails. He's like, the death is coming, you know, and doom. He does have some good info. I like watching him, but it's a little bit like clickbaity. I'm not sure I want everyone at our house on Thanksgiving. No, well, fortunately, my son-in-law and my daughter-in-law think like I do. My daughter-in-law's mom is a homesteader, and she's very homesteader. And my son-in-law was a firefighter before he became a doctor. So, and he was a poor kid too. So he knows how to make money last. So yeah, it's neat seeing the kids think like that. And I'm like, something you listened, you know, 15 years after I told you, but shit, I'm good. Survival, yeah, let alone exactly. You didn't have enough, so you had to get creative. Bank run videos. I haven't seen the bank run video. I'd love to, you know what? If they have bank runs out here, I will go get a coffee and sit there and video that shit. Oh, by the way, a little bit of cash, not a bad idea, just in case someone does hack you. But at the very least, if things get hacked, you know, they shut down, you know, purchasing systems, credit cards don't work, you have some cash in your pocket to buy lunch, you know? But anyway, folks, don't freak out. Double check your gear, double check your inventory. You got any gaps, fill what you can in budget, and then move on. Just keep going. So, Devil Dog, what's going on? So, ladies and gentlemen, as a reminder, the Four Horsemen will be on Livingston Man's channel. Is that right? Trent, if you're still in the chat, I think we're on Livingston's tomorrow, right? I'm waiting to see if Vision Trent responds. Yes. Okay. Thank you. So yeah, that'll be interesting. Aldi was cash only 2 days ago here. Okay. Oh, by the way, and a little tip. The ATMs inside the Chase, the Wells Fargo's, Bank of America, I know some of you guys don't like the bigger banks, will give you smaller denominations. So you can get 1s, 5s, 10s, and 20s, and 100s at least the Chase banks and the Wells Fargo's in my area. It may be different where you are. But I like to go, every couple of paydays or every payday and take a little bit of cash, but in small bills. Not because I'm going to a strip club or anything, but because it's easier. Because if I learned this during the hurricane, power goes out, right? Cards don't work. But we had cash, but we had 20s. So I had to either buy $20 of shit, or I had to give the guy $20 for $10 of material. So that was annoying. And granted, I had kids, so it was easy to run up $20 at the time. But having the smaller bills means it's a little bit easier to break change. And also, you're not showing as big denominations, right? You don't want to pull out $200 in 20s. You pull out a pile of ones and someone's, you got some cash. Nah, it's just ones, and they'll be like, oh, whatever, you got $10. It looks like money, but it's not. Or it looks like a lot of money, but it's not. You want to show those smaller denominations. So just mental note, it's a perception thing. Yeah, and coins help. And if you put the coins in a sock, you can use it to repel things. If you guys have not seen, what was it? Charles Bronson. How could I forget the name of the movie? Shit. Anyway, Charles Bronson shows what to do with coins in a sock. But in any case, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta go bug my boss. So I'll let you guys go with this one. You guys be safe out there. Be careful. Death wish. God bless. I'm forgetting everything this morning. I should just go home. I'm done. Anyway, wrap hundreds around the ones. There you go. You guys be safe. Be careful. Soap in a towel. That works too. Anyway, you guys be careful. Don't freak out. Plan. Check your bags in your vehicle. Check your bags at home, at work, however you're set up. Everyone's set up differently. And make sure you have what you need to get around. You guys be good. Be safe. And I'll see you later on. Take care.